Today we are going to start making our James Rizzi cities. So you can see that there's a lot of detail. I just used one piece of computer paper, printer paper. You can use larger paper if you want. The most important thing is that you fill your paper with lots of detail and you color the whole thing very carefully. So to get started, you might want to use a ruler if you have one. I'm going to show you if you don't have one. So I'm just going to use a piece of paper that I have and use that as a ruler. So the first thing I'm going to do is make my road. So I'm going to line up my paper. What I did was I made sure down here to have just the amount of road that I want. I'm going to the edge and I'm going to draw a line straight across. So any building that you have in the front, like this one right here is in the front, you want to draw the buildings that you want closest first. So let's say I want to draw a rectangle building like that. So I'm going to use my paper. I'm just going to show you a trick. So you can go from the road up and over, and then you could even use the other side of the paper and come down. So that's if you'd like to make a building with a ruler or with the edge of the paper, you can do that. If you'd like to just freehand, you can freehand. It's okay. So I'm going to make another building here, and I'm going to make it similar to this one. So if you look at the top is kind of at an angle. So I'm going to come up, and make the top of my building like that. And I'm going to have this one come all the way down. Maybe I'll make another building over here in the front. I'm doing this freehand, and I've looked at a few of his buildings, and one had like a curlicue top, and I thought that was kind of fun. So I'm going to make that. Put some other buildings in the back. One a little bit straighter next to that curve. You can come up with your own designs. I just came up with that one. Maybe your building just has a curved top like this. And you just want to make sure that you're filling the whole space. If you'd like to add more in the back, you can add more in the back. If you want to make sure you have room for your moon or your stars or your sun, you wouldn't want to continue on. Totally up to you. All of the buildings have personalities. They all have different faces, little details. If you think about hidden pictures, I love hidden pictures, so I did hide a little cheeseburger there. There's a bowl of spaghetti and meatballs right here. So you can hide different things in there. You could even ask your parents or your friends or your siblings to take a guess, see what they can find. You could find a certain number of things. Hide a certain number of things. Maybe hide 10 Pokeballs or maybe 12 ice cream cones and see if they can find them all. So you're going to want to decide which faces to put on your buildings. You can make up your own. I do have a little sheet that has lots of different examples. You can combine the ones that you like. Maybe you like this nose and these eyes and those eyebrows. You can make up your own or pull from here or pull from mine. Doesn't matter to me. So I'm going to make this one right here. I'm going to do a smiley face, and I'm going to do some lips, and I'm going to do a nose and some eyes. If you make a curve at the bottom, a lot of times that makes it look like the cheekbones are up, like it's a happy face. So you can do that. There we go. And then you're going to want to put any shapes. You can do shapes that are purposeful, like for windows, and you can actually put something that looks like a shade, or you can just do fun, funky shapes and put designs all over. You can put hearts and stars, however you would want. If you would like to put doors, you can put doors. You can make them fancier. Up to you. Let's pretend I added all the details. Then you're going to want to take a Sharpie marker or a fine tip marker, and go over your lines. An extra fine point is even better. I don't have one of those. And that's okay. We work with what we have. So you keep on going, tracing everything you can. I'm going a little fast. Please go slower than me. I did a nice slow job on this one, so you definitely need to take your time. All right, I'm almost done. Whoops, got a little funky here. That's okay. I'll make it part of my design. There we go. Okay. No one will ever know, right? Keep my secret. Shh. Okay. I'm gonna use my eraser, and I'm gonna erase any of the lines that I didn't make a trace with the Sharpie. I'm gonna erase those. Now, when we talk about coloring, it's really important in this project that you color nicely. Please don't rush and go fast. Try to stay in the lines. When you use a marker, you want to go in the same direction, if possible, and not stay in one spot over and over and over again. That's how you get the holes in your paper if you've ever had that happen. So just do your best. If you miss any little spots, you can go back in and touch those up. And you just want to keep coloring as nice and neat as you can. Okay, until you have the whole thing. Now, one thing I did not mention is there is a really cool thing that James Rizzi did. He did interactive art. So that means that you could go up to his artwork, some of them, and you could actually play with some pieces. So I made a taxi cab, and I put the taxi cab on a magnet. Now you might be saying, Miss Sasso, I don't know if I have any magnets at home. Well, you might want to check your fridge or ask your parents or even your aunts or uncles. You might have some that get sent home with certain mailings, or maybe even sometimes Valentine's Day gifts, like the little Valentines you got at your party. You might even have little magnets there. So ask before you cut one up. But that's how I made this one. So I did make a little flying saucer for my artwork. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it out. So I made it on regular paper, just white paper. If you have any worksheets that you're done with, this is a good way to use up that scrap. So I cut that out, and I just use glue stick. And I put the glue stick all over. If you have an extra piece of paper, you can put your little cutout on the paper and really go all over with the glue. Flip it over, put it on your magnet. And then do your best. These really thin magnets, they cut out nicely. You can come up with your own way to do that. This was just one way I thought of to come up with this method. If you have something else, maybe you have something at home that I don't have at home, so I'm not thinking of it, come up with your own way to do it. You can buy magnet sheets, so maybe you actually have some at home. If you have that, as long as it's okay for you to use it. So now I have my spaceship and I have my taxi cab, and I just so happen to have, you can put this on your refrigerator at home, but I just so happen to have a magnet board from my kids. Haven't used it in a while, but it works. So here's my magnet board, and you can see that my little taxi cab and my spaceship Uh-oh, it's becoming a toy. That's okay, right? We can have fun. Maybe they're gonna meet. So you can actually make this for your fridge. You could even make it as a gift for someone. So have fun making your James Rizzi cities and see if you can make something interactive. You can come up with your own way to do this. Maybe you want to build your city out of Legos, and maybe you want to use a dry erase marker and draw faces on them, or cut out paper and tape the paper to your Legos. You might want to build a city out of cardboard. Get creative. So if you are making a James Rizzi city, I want to see details, bold colors, and maybe something fun. So remember, enjoy and stay creative.